Hi, this is Alken, and welcome back to my channel. We have an update on the Peanut and Fred saga. So you may know last November, Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon were taken from their beloved homes by an agency in New York State, and weren't being honest about why they were being taken or this, or the circumstances. But they already made up their minds they were going to euthanize the animals anyway, no matter what. So now New York might be putting a bill to give uh, Peanuts and Fred due process, so that what happened to Peanut the squirrel and Fred the raccoon don't happen again. And I'm still calling that lady a squirrel killer because that's what she is. We all know who we're talking about. Isn't that right, Governor Hochul? Anyway, it's from the New York Post by Vanguard Golden and Alex Olivier. Apologize if I don't get the names right. Says New York bill will give critters due process after Peanut the squirrel was seized, beheaded by DEC agents. You see, they didn't use the word euthanize. They said beheaded. Says don't tread on P. I guess for Peanut. State Republicans are pushing a bill that would give animals seized by the government a stay of execution after the internet famous Peanut the squirrel was decapitated by the government last year. Don't forget Fred. It's not on there. Peanut grieving owners Mark and Daniela Longo joined us with the state assemblyman Jake Blooming Cruz of Nassau County at the state capitol Tuesday to unveil Peanut's Law, the Humane Animal Protection Act, which will require the Department of Environmental Conservation to wait 72 hours before euthanizing any seized animal. So, let's see. I sit here trying not to cry, but passing this law would be a moment to make sure that the animals' rights are not overlooked anymore. An emotional Marlango to a large crowd gathered at the foot of Capitol $1 million staircase. Excuse me. I don't know why I almost said suitcase. I love those animals to death, he added, referring to Peanut and another pet named Fred the squirrel. No, it's Fred the raccoon. And that's what they wrote there. I didn't put that down. So Peanut and another pet named Fred. The squirrel was seized at the same raid and also put down. And today is the day that we will push forward to make sure that tragedy will never happen again. The owners wore a tiny cowboy hat Peanut had worn in the social media post pinned to his lapel. The critters were housed at the Longo's upstate farm before DEC raid on October 30, 2024. The official said was sparked by an anonymous complaint of animal mistreatment. We don't think that it was legitimate. The animals' heads were cut off by the state officials within an hour so their brains could be tested for rabies after frightened squirrel allegedly bit a handler's leg glove, setting off massive backlash of DEC's behavior. His death stopped people in the tracks, from the President of the United States to the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court to celebrities to everyday New Yorkers, says Assemblyman Men Crane, who pointed out that the tests which cost Peanut and Fred their lives came back negative for rabies. They're not dangerous. They were not sick. They were not wild threats roaming in the streets. They were rescued, loved nature, and safe. Here in the cold, hard truth, it's too little, too late. Words don't save Peanut and Fred, and words won't save the next animal or the next family unless we change the law. The bill would also require an administrative hearing before any animal can be seized or euthanized from wildlife sanctuary unless it is hard proof that an immediate threat to the public. During the announcement Tuesday, Longo and other speakers stood before a lecture adorned with a banner emulating the yellow Revolutionary War Gaston flag with the image of rattlesnake replaced by a squirrel preaching on top the words, "Don't tread on me." There's also a picture of Fred, one of the peanuts, in his tiny 1 gallon cowboy hat. And that's about it. Well, they don't show it here, but ironically, Sextonhammer has such a flag on his post on his Twitter page. Let's see if we can find it. No, I can't find it right now. No, I can't find it right now. Nope. No, I can't find it right now. But yes, he has on his Twitter feed. He has the Gaston flag. Looks similar to this hat here, but of course, instead of the snake, they have a squirrel on it. Don't tread on me. Very hilarious. Yes. Wish it didn't come to this, and you know, Peanut and Fred would still be alive. And then it did spark that it came at the worst time. It's government overreach, and then we don't know. It might have turned the election too. I mean, we're not 100% sure, so I mean, I don't want to say don't quote me on it, but it's a possibility. But we're not 100% sure that in a way, Peanut revenge on the Democratic Party is complete to a point. After all, when Kamala Harris lost the election and she didn't come forward to announce her loss, the very next day when they were trying to get themselves organized for the concession speech, there was ironically a squirrel running in the area. Coincidence? Maybe. Maybe not. Anyway, so this is Outcan saying so long for now, and don't forget to stop. Yes, Peanut, and yes, Fred. We're gonna try to get you the rights you'd never gotten when you were on this earth.